to TheSocialPet.net.
Hi, I'm Christina Carter, and today on TheSocialPet.net we're here with Lisa O'Neill and Roxy Brown, and we are going to talk about Angels of Assisi. And you're the director there?
I am, yes.
How did you get involved with the Angels of Assisi?
I started as a volunteer, moved into helping with the adoption center, moved into helping with the clinic, and then that was probably about 8-9 years ago. And then here I am, the director today.
Yeah. It's rewarding.
It is, yeah.
It's rewarding.
It's a lifestyle, yes.
It is definitely a lifestyle, yeah. So tell us about Angels of Assisi.
Angels of Assisi started out about 12 years ago when there was close to 10,000 dogs and cats being killed in the Roanoke Valley a year. So the founder of Angels of Assisi, Norm Mason, started Angels of Assisi with a low-cost-free spay-neuter shuttle. He bought a motorhome and fitted it to be a hospital, and it went throughout Roanoke, and it actually went to places like Charlottesville and Floyd County. That transitioned into a little tiny building off of Melrose. They went to a corporate office that was very gracious and let them house them there, and then they had a little mobile adoption unit. And then that transitioned into buying a building on Campbell Avenue. We're at 415 Campbell Avenue. And the reasoning behind putting the building there was so people could get to us and still get there.
So you're in the middle of it.
Yeah, and it's actually very cool. We love being part of downtown. Our adoption center dogs are used to being walked downtown. They're used to being in parades. They're used to city traffic. Our dog trainer does things like has bicycles out back in their play yard so they can get used to them. City life is actually not a bad thing for our dogs because they're getting out and about.
It's such a cool thing because you get to get the dogs exposed, but then you also get the people exposed.
We've tried very hard. We're an animal rescue, but our mission is more and more transitioning into helping people. So we have a program for domestic violence, no questions asked. Those animals can come in anytime. We have a new program called Pets for Life, which is a program where we actually go into the underserved neighborhoods and offer free vet care. One of the gentlemen that we helped, he's deaf, but he's got a 14-year-old dog that he has had for 14 years and he takes very good care of. He was recently diagnosed with cancer, and he rode his bike down to see us, and this is his little thing. I'm dying, that I can accept. Just don't let my only friend cry or hurt. She'll need a friend. So he knows that if something ever happens to him, we'll take care of his dog. And there's many people in that neighborhood that are struggling. So we're trying to help make everything a little bit better. So when they get free spay and neuter, they get free shots, they get a microchip. As we allow, we have any dog beds that are donated to us, so they get a new dog bed, and that sort of encourages those animals to come inside. So we're trying to help improve the lives of the animals and make them healthier, get them fixed so that there's not so many more coming in. And we're hoping to show stats with the pound that in that particular zip code that we're in, that those numbers of intakes will come down. So
how does that work then? Partnership, I guess. Is that what you call it? Is a partnership between the two of you? Does she call you? Do you call her?
A little bit. It's a little bit of both. I would say, like, since we're quote unquote like a pound environment, we're kind of the front line. So we get animals in right away. It could be a court case animal. It could be an owner's friend. It could be any of it. So like, what we'll do is we'll contact Lisa, or they'll contact us, and we'll try to get them in fosters, or they can pull them. We'll try to get them adopted, and just work together in the community to try and get these animals out one way or another.
So you're the front line and you're kind of the backup, the second wave kind of a thing.
yeah, in a perfect world, what we would really love to see is that regional is going to house the stray animals, and more people are knowing to look for their animals. There was a time when people didn't know.
We're still fighting that.
Yeah, and that's important to get the word out. So they're going to house the stray animals, get people a chance to come and reclaim them. And they've done some great things, like they have a new tag machine, so people come and reclaim their animals.
They don't have a dog tag, they come out with a dog tag, we'll actually give them a collar as well, so that way they go back out in hopes that they'll have identification, at least a collar, so it signifies that they're somebody's dog.
Yeah.
So regional will house the animals and then have adoptions of the animals that are not claimed or animals that are turned over. And Angels of Assisi will come around the backside. We'll have our own adoption center, but we will do many things to prevent animals from going to the pound. We have a low-cost spay-neuter clinic, we have a low-cost wellness clinic, low cost for sick animals, we do some surgeries. So we're working really hard to stop the animals from going over to regional, and then the numbers that regional has will be manageable.
So preventative is really what your main goal is.
People sometimes have to turn animals in.
Yeah.
It's not because they're not terrible people, it happens. So that's what the money is set aside to help. People lose their houses. People have kids with severe allergies. People get overwhelmed, and it's okay.
And I think that's where we come in as people in the rescue community. We should be helping them and educating on, hey, this is what you can do, this is where you can take them, this is how we can help you. And a lot of people, they just don't know.
If you want to see something really good, come sit in our lobby one day. Come see the lady I told you about with the 3 dogs that, because she's in the hospital. There was an 82-year-old man on oxygen that he had to park a block away, and he walked very slowly, and he knows her, and he came to visit those dogs to give them some time and some love and all of that. So there's so many people that will help, and part of the importance of getting the word out is because if people don't know, how can they, you know what I'm saying? If they don't know that there's a need out there, they're not going to be able to do anything.
So is there a certain type of personality? I know you talked about it is an emotional thing working there. Is there a certain type of personality that does well doing what you do?
I think you have to be organized, and you have to be somebody that can really see the big picture, and you also have to be compassionate. You have to be compassionate, not to the point that you're bawling every 5 minutes, because it can, I mean, there's a lot of people, and there's a thing called compassion fatigue.
So real.
Yeah, it happens. But if you have to be able to pull back from it, and animal rescue is really 24/7. Roxy can tell you. I mean, we get calls and texts and Facebook, Twitter. Yeah, so all of the ways to communicate, they will all come to you. So you just have to be able to sort of filter all of that and understand that these are very good-hearted people that want to help, and you also have to understand what the laws are, because while some people might not agree with how this animal is being housed, it's within the code section. If they have adequate shelter, water, food, exercise area, because you wouldn't keep your dog that way doesn't mean that that person's breaking the law. And there's going to be some things that you just have to let go.
Yes.
There's some things you have to let go, and you're going to lose some animals, and there's going to be some horrible abusive things that have happened to them. You're going to lose them. But you take what you learn and you put it into the next one. There's going to be animals that are euthanized at the pound just because of space issues. And you take a step back and you take a deep breath and you, all right, in honor of that one, we're going to work harder, so.
So talking about responsible pet ownership, what does that look like?
Responsible pet ownership comes in many different ways. So if they're living within the code section, just because one family chooses to have their dog in a sweater with a fur collar and booties on going outside, and the other one just lets them run around in the backyard for a few hours, doesn't necessarily mean one's more responsible than the other.
It's all about placing them in the right homes too. There are dogs that I would rather place where they're going to be a strictly outdoor dog, and I know that they'll be happier that way. And then you've got dogs that they need to be a family dog, and they need to be.
Little Fifi needs to be carried in their sweater.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So again, it's just that whole big picture. Your programs that you offer at Angels of Assisi, you said the Pets for Life. I watched a video, I guess, from the Humane Society of the U.S. That was so awesome.
Yeah, Pets for Life is actually my favorite thing. Going into neighborhoods and meeting people. And there was a guy that, he's got a pit bull and he's got a baby and he's concerned now. I'm like, okay, let's get your pit bull fixed. And we have a trainer on site. And the concept also is, get the animals healthier and up to date on shots and spay and neuter. So teaching that, and then on the flip side of it, our dog trainer, her name is Bobby, she's going to be offering dog training classes, and the classes are focused on things like how to cut toenails, how to check the ears, and then how to do dog walking so that dog is completely focused on that person, and that's going to make that person love that dog and take better care of it. And then at the end of that thing, they get the animal fixed up to get on shots, and they go through the 6-week class, they get peepers for the the dog.
Well, that's awesome though that you're teaching them life skills.
Yeah.
And be a responsible pet owner too.
Yes.
Yeah, and you know, the folks that we talked to about their animals having puppies, and we showed them the pictures of the animals that could be put to sleep, it hit them hard. They didn't want that, and they wanted to make a difference.
I can't tell you how many people have come through our front door and they've got this dog and it's got mange that can be treated, and they just don't know that there's cheap care out there. They don't realize that doing things like the Pets for Life, where you go in and you train the dog, it's so helpful too, because even if for some reason they end up letting go of that dog later on, when it comes to us, it has a way better chance of being adopted. It knows manners, it's up to date on shots. So that's less work that we have to put into it, and it makes it much more adoptable. So it's just all around good for everybody, and it also makes them take pride in that animal too, that they've put something into it. They've emotionally bonded with it, the dog is bonded with them, so.
Yeah, and it makes their life better.
Yes.
I know cats and dogs both go into nursing homes or assisted living homes.
Yeah.
You offer a program that does that
We do.
too.
Yeah.
Right. Can you tell me about that a little bit?
We have some volunteers that love to go, and they take one of our dogs in the adoption center, so it's usually not the same one twice, and off they go. They go to the nursing home and they make their rounds, and it's a wonderful thing, and again, I think it's showing how we're transitioning into just pet rescue, and helping people too.
So is there a benefit to sending those dogs to the nursing home or the assisted living facilities?
There are studies that show that it lowers blood pressure, and I think really the best thing is you just kind of see the crinkles in the eye right here. The true smiles, and you can just kind of see people exhale a little bit, and that dog comes up and says hi to them, and it's also very good for our dogs. You know what I mean? So they're out of there and they're getting unlimited love and attention, and then like I said, the smiles and the hands-on thing. So.
You said that when they walk the dogs, the people in the community get to see them. So is that how you get the word out about your programs? Do you advertise anywhere? How is that?
As a nonprofit, we're able to do some PSAs and whatnot. Social media, of course, is huge for us, but I think it's really a lot of word of mouth, And if we go to an event, we'll have this person adopted from us, that person got their animals fixed with us, this person came in advisor flea and tick medicine, and I think it's just people telling stories, and I would say that our community engagement, for lack of a better word, has gone way up because of social media.
Are you just in the Roanoke area? How far does the Angels of Assisi extend?
We're in the Roanoke area. We have a satellite cat adoptions only at the Valley View Petsmart, which has been tremendous. And then we have a farm animal sanctuary up in Ottertown County. So that's, no dogs or cats, it's pigs, goats, bunnies, yeah, we think about bunnies. Potbelly pigs are huge. People get them and don't realize what they're getting into. We have a donkey. We have an old carriage horse that pulled a carriage up in Alexandria for 25 years, and he came and retired with us. So yeah, we got the keys to the city, and he hates people. He is judgmental. He's a very judgmental horse, and we had to teach him how to be on grass. He hadn't been on grass in 30 years.
Yeah.
So, and it was now that he's like, oh, I'm a horse, right? And now he's just, he wants nothing to do with anybody. So his name is Hobo.
Hobo?
Yeah.
That's an awesome name for a carriage horse.
Yeah. He has no interest in anybody.
So there's no real bond.
I think his bond is with the land and the grass. He's bonded very well to being on a farm. So
Yeah.
that's where and he's got his little buddies on the farm. So yeah.
Poor Hobo.
Yeah, he's just Hobo. He just wants to be left alone. Just leave me alone. I'm like, okay, you got it.
He's allowed.
He's totally allowed. Yeah, we have to take his shoes off. So he's got no horseshoes on.
How can volunteers get connected with you? Is that through Facebook and Twitter and all those things too?
You can do it through our website, or you can stop down. We've made the process pretty simple. You get a volunteer handbook, and you need to sign something that says that you've never been convicted of animal abuse. So then you come in, you can help with the cats, you can go through a really quick dog walking class. Last Saturday, 9 of our adoption center dogs went on a hike to McAfee's Knob, so we have some great pictures of that. So being a dog walker is hugely important. We have the nursing home program that's very helpful. We have a few ladies that come in and answer the phone because we get around 300, 350 calls a day. But there's many different ways, and it's really kind of what you like to do. So we have one lady that just likes to, she'll pick our longest term dog and just work with that dog until it gets adopted. And she'll make cute videos and take them on the greenway and teach them things. So if you're more of a cat person, you can help in the Valley View Petsmart store, which is huge, because our volunteers there can actually process adoptions, which is really fun. And they can send cats home. Instead of seeing them like, sitting in the shelter, they can become part of the solution and getting them out. So there's many different ways to volunteer, and it really just kind of depends on what you like to do.
So if you want to volunteer, there is a job out there for you.
Yeah. Same as at Regional, we like to sort of develop the shared volunteer program. So if we have events like we're going to have this coming up weekend, people can either grab a regional dog, which is very much needed, and then, or they can grab it, but they can sort of go back and forth. So photography is a great way to volunteer, and Regional's got some awesome pictures
We have
coming out.
such good photographers right now, and we're so fortunate to have them. But that really helps because, as far as social media goes and things, people see these awesome pictures, and they're seeing them offsite. So, they're downtown Roanoke, places you can relate to. Like, one of our photographers recently took them to the skate park. So I saw that.
Yeah.
You want that dog.
Yeah.
I mean, that helps tremendously get them out there and make people see them in a warmer light rather than in the cage and want to come down and just see that, hey, you can do those things. You don't have to just be in the dreary environment of a shelter. You can take them out in the community and just let them get dog for a day.
Take them out in your world a little bit.
Yeah.
So. See how they adjust, see how they mesh.
And people are responsible, right. So of course there's going to be some people that can't, but when we see families come in, they're capable of raising 2 kids. I'm pretty sure they can take the dog out for the afternoon, so just let us know where you're going. Not always, but most of the time. So, just kind of breaking down some of those barriers and just making it easy for people to come in. And it works to our advantage a lot, because like there was a lady that came in and wanted to take one of the dogs on the hike last weekend. So she's like, can she just sleep over the night before? I was like, sure. And then she ended up adopting that dog. So it was like, sleepovers are just always highly recommended. So so it all works out fine.
So it's not a requirement, but it is It is very welcomed when they ask.
Okay. Anytime.
Some people need their dog fixed if they don't have a dog or a
We
cat.
have volunteers that do that. They just strictly come in, they'll take the dog for the day. We don't allow sleepovers just because it's a little different environment. They can take them for the day and just keep them and bring them back. And I think for us it's super enlightening when they bring them back, because I learned things that there's no way I would have ever known in a pound environment. They bring it back and they're like, oh, this dog's amazing with kids and it really likes this kind. It gives us more information to market and to let people know. So them taking the dogs home and getting those family environment pictures, they usually end up getting adopted if they take them home.
And I think that the fact that would have happened 2 years ago at Regional. So the fact that people could come and take them out for the day, it just shows the progress that's been made. So getting volunteers in was a massive undertaking, but it got done. So
We're excited about it.
Yes. And then you can see the volunteers, they'll put things up, their day out with this dog, or
We
how they...
love our volunteers.
Yeah.
They're so good. They come in with their goodie bag of like catnip and little jingle balls, and they're just they're so helpful to us. We can't do it without them, so we're really, really lucky to have that program now.
Volunteers. That's such a nice word.
It is.
But your volunteers get something out of it too. They give something back, and they get something out of it too.
And for most people, there's nothing better than that. People like to help. So.
See the smile on the animal's face after they've spent time with them, and they get a smile on their face from spending time with them.
And our favorite thing is seeing those dogs go back into their runs and just go to sleep. It's like, you've had a good day. If they've been out and they've been mentally challenged and had a good day, they're going to be much better when they are meeting new people first.
So how do people donate to you if they want to donate?
Okay. There's many ways to do that. Some people like to donate food, litter, that sort of thing. We have a lot of medical expenses, not only for our adoption center animals, but also for our client animals who can't always afford things. So you can donate to those sorts of causes through our website, very simply, angelsofAssisi.org. There's a nicer way to do that. People sometimes come in and donate money to us, which is very, very, very nice. And some people like to mail it. So we're gonna help you, however. And it's very much appreciated because, like I said, when we see the people sitting in our lobby, the Pets for Life guy, whose thing I just read to you, we also have a thing called the Biscuit Fund, which is for abused and neglected animals. So those are court case animals, and we've learned how to take care of them and do documentation. Our vets are trained to go into court.
Is there other supplies, just generally, that you don't?
Yeah, Korean food and kitty litter is the main. Kitty litter is really like gold to us. It's so sad to say. And I was at Valley View Petsmart, and they put up like this rows of kitty litter, and I was like, oh, that's so beautiful. But kitty litter is really one of the main things. I don't know, like 400 pounds a week, or I don't know, some huge number. Yeah, it's just a lot.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I do know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Good.
Kitty litter is like gold.
It's like, it's just like gold. And some good things for families to do for kids is the kids will make like little catnip socks. Just get all the old socks together and throw some catnip and bells in there, and they bring little boxes of them too. And people donate stuff. It's amazing. I mean, they donate copy paper. We go through a ton of copy paper. It's, it's like, oh, thank you. And the way that they think of their own ways to help is just amazing. And it's overwhelming sometimes. They come in and one of the harder ones is when they've lost a pet. So they bring in the beds and the prescription bottles and that sort of thing. And it's like, I'm so sorry, but please know that, this is going to go to good use in memory of your pet. So
That's nice. It's nice that you can help them that way too, by closing the door or, closure. That's the word I want.
Yes, exactly. I think it helps them a little bit.
It does.
So.
And Roxy Brown, again, is with the RCACP.
We're with RCACP. We're located at 1510 Baldwin Avenue. Our website is rcacp.org, and just come in. The website's pretty informative. You can just get in contact with us.
Well, thank you for talking with us. Is there anything else that you want to add about Angels of Assisi?
I think the main thing is just, how much we appreciate everybody that helps us, and we're really excited about doing more and more things with the Roanoke Pound,
Go team.
which most people know with but it's the RCACP, and they've done a great job with being out in the community more and trying really hard. So we're trying to join forces, and like I said, people love animals, so that's what we're here for, help the animals and help those people. So we appreciate all the efforts that are going to that.
Let's make the world a better place and be kind to every single animal.